MeghalayaPost.news.
Habai snok tilang ban rakhe ka World Food Safety Day ka Office of Assistant Commissioner of Food Safety Riboy mata ka sungi kila rakhe ka World Food Safety Day hasayan sol Nongpoh ka balong ru komsi benta ban pensngo thu ikinong di bam baki de ban long ki ba Lehkhuid le suba baru baki de ban di ki jingbam taimen khnang bagan long ka jingsnga nya ki nonglej bam le di haki dukan jongki habarakhe ka World Food Safety Day la sakhi da jingdon Dr. Abhishek Saini Deputy Commissioner ka Riboy ka kong AB tingkan Assistant Commissioner of Food Safety Riboy ki nongdie dukan na kaleng ki jaka Riboy lembat kiwai u Dr. Abhishek Saini haba jingkran hakati ke sngi ulapan sngo hakmat kiti kinong dia dukan sha bat ki restaurant halor ka jingdon kam ka khut ka suba haki dukan jongki bat nalor kata ulong ru baki de banbu ki jingbam ban taimen ki babha bat ki balong ki jingsnga nya kinong bam nongdi ula kenturu ikiti kinong dia dukan baki de ban a ka jing lang bat ki brio ka tanat food and safety nalor kata baki de ban bu renti katkum ka jing tha da ki brio sarkar bakumnu ki de ban penkhu ki dukan ki jongki nadu ki jakashan ki jakasa lembat kumta ter lengba katika sungi na kalyang ka Office of Assistant Commissioner of Food Safety Riboy kalayo banai kusnam sa kisaw pu arngut kinong die dukan na marga jingla jungki ban penkhu iki dukan baru baki die ki jingbam ki bakhu bat suba bat ki basungan na kamta kinong bam ban bam ki jingbam haki dukan jongki.
This year theme is a wake-up call for everyone to ensure safe food is available to all. Therefore, the government should stress on prevention rather than cure. I think you might have heard the saying. You all may have taken health education, right? It always says prevention is better than cure. So the government should stress in strengthening food safety management and food regulation. And different departments in the state should work hand in hand with food safety officers so that we can ensure that the food available or the food that the farmers are producing will be safe for consumption. Food business operators should put into action what is mandatory as given in Schedule 4 and the regulation. Producers, farmers should adopt safe farming practices to prevent contamination even at the source. Consumers should practice the 5 keys to safer food. So it's not only the responsibility, like I've said, it's not only the responsibility of the food safety officials, but it's also the responsibility of the consumers. So the consumers should remember the 5 keys to safer food. That is, you have to keep clean, you have to separate raw food from cooked food, and cook food thoroughly. And always keep food at safe temperatures and use only safe materials.
Non-negotiable, and as the administration and from the food business operator side, we have to work in collaboration to make sure that each and every person in the district should be able to have access to healthy, hygienic and safe food. There is a lot of mandatory requirements, whether it is under FSI, that all of you have to make sure that you are having the proper FSI registration, license and all. But that mandatory part is definitely there. But I think food safety is something that should come from within, from your side. And each one of us, when we go to a restaurant or to a dhaba, the first thing we want to ensure is that the food is hygienic, clean and cooked in a proper environment. That is non-negotiable. Rest other things can be little up or down, maybe lighting or all, that is okay. But if there is no food safety, then the persons will not like to eat there. So I would urge all the food business operators to take this as a moral responsibility rather than something that we should be enforcing or we should be telling you. This should come from your side that my restaurant, my dhaba, my hotel should have the most hygienic, the cleanest food possible. And this responsibility is not just about the health of the persons who are, coming and eating at your places, but also about your own business perspective. Because the better and the cleaner food you will give, the reputation will spread very fast. And it is like a word of mouth. People will tell, yes, that hotel or dhaba is very neat and clean. We will stop there and eat there. So I would urge all of you to make sure that is there. And our district, Lehkhuid, since such an important highway, Kasif Prover district, I think we might be having one of the highest number of dhabas and tea stalls and all these shops. So that way it is even more important for our district to focus a lot on the food safety aspect. And I am happy that so many of you have taken part in the RUCO initiative, which is again very important because using the cooking oil again and again, it becomes really bad for the health of the people. So you should make sure that it is not used multiple times and it is being utilized for the biofuel generation and other aspects. And I would urge all of you who have still not participated in this initiative to please coordinate with the RUCO aggregator and make sure that you are participating in this and contributing to the food safety aspect. And one more thing I would like to say is that the trainings and all to our food safety officers, please make sure that regular trainings are conducted and whatever help is required by the food business operators, that should be given. I am sure you must be part of some WhatsApp group or you must be having the contact numbers of our food safety officer. So whenever you need any help, any hand-holding that is required from the administration side, our food safety officer should always be willing to help you so that you can enforce and you can be compliant with all the requirements that are present there. And next is regarding one thing I would say is please have all the food operators should have designated hand washing areas for your staff. This is something that is very important and you should train your staff that whenever they are handling the food, they should the proper hand hygiene. That is very important because 80% of the diseases are taken care of if the food is handled with the clean neat and clean hands. If possible, they should be using the gloves also while handling the foods and be more careful regarding the raw foods and especially those who are using the non-vegetarian, serving the non-vegetarian, which most of these stalls are doing, because non-vegetarian food has to be handled even with more care and cooking has to be proper. I remember earlier when I was in Lehkhuid as assistant commissioner also, so there was one episode of gastroenteritis and multiple people had diarrhea and all those vomiting episodes because of undercooked pork that was served. That was at some wedding program basically, not at some stall. So it is very important that pork is cooked properly because if pork is not cooked properly, then many of you might be aware that it can lead to a very severe brain disease also and can be life-threatening. So proper cooking of the non-vegetarian food is very very vital to cut any chance of any sort of disease in the people who are eating them. And I hope with this today's gathering, all of you are even sensitized further. And in future, we don't have any kind of episode where there is a health hazard to the people. And let us make Lehkhuid 100% hygienic and safe, for all the people who are having the food at the different places. And once again, please make sure that there is a zero compromise with the food safety aspect. And we make sure that all of us are working together, and again whatever help is required from the administration, I would urge Madam also to please make sure that all the food business operators do not face any kind of hurdles and we facilitate them. Our role should be more of a facilitation and to provide the best quality of food that is there.
MeghalayaPost.news